The morning sun poured through the glass walls of the towering corporate headquarters, making the polished marble floors shine like mirrors. Employees rushed across the lobby, unaware they were about to witness a moment that would change their lives forever. Standing in the center of the lobby was a tired-looking single father wearing dusty work clothes, holding a worn backpack in one hand and a lunchbox in the other. Moments later, the company's young CEO marched toward him with cold determination. Without asking a single question, she publicly handed him a termination letter. The crowd watched in silence, expecting the broken man to beg for another chance. Instead, he simply smiled with quiet confidence and calmly said, "Before everyone celebrates, check who owns this building." Those words froze every heartbeat inside the lobby. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, humility, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Spread Love Daily. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that inspire hearts around the world. Everyone stared in disbelief as the man slowly folded the termination letter and slipped it into his pocket. His name was Everett Hale, a widowed father raising his 10-year-old daughter, Nora, completely alone. Few people inside the company knew anything about him. To them, he was simply another maintenance worker who quietly repaired broken lights, fixed leaking pipes, and always greeted everyone with a gentle smile. What they never noticed was how every evening, after finishing work, he rushed across town to pick up Nora from school before the daycare closed. Life had been painfully difficult since his wife passed away after a long illness 3 years earlier. Medical bills had swallowed nearly every dollar they owned, forcing Everett to sell almost everything except the small house where he and Nora still shared memories of happier days. Despite every hardship, Everett never complained. Every morning before sunrise, he prepared breakfast, braided Nora's hair as best as he could, packed her lunch, and reminded her that kindness was more valuable than success. Then he drove to work wearing the same faded uniform, earning respect from security guards, janitors, and receptionists who saw how hard he worked. Yet many executives never even learned his name. To them, he was invisible. The company's new CEO, Vanessa Whitmore, had recently taken charge after her father's retirement. Brilliant, ambitious, and determined to prove herself, she believed emotions weakened leadership. Within weeks she launched aggressive cost-cutting measures, demanding departments eliminate every unnecessary expense. Employees feared every email from management because another round of layoffs always seemed to follow. One morning Vanessa walked through the building with several executives. She noticed Everett taking a short break after carrying heavy equipment up several flights of stairs. Without asking about his schedule or workload, she assumed he was wasting company time. Her frustration exploded. In front of dozens of employees and visitors, she announced that workers without discipline had no place in her company. She ordered human resources to terminate him immediately. No one defended Everett. Fear kept everyone silent. Everett accepted the letter peacefully. His eyes revealed neither anger nor humiliation. Instead, they reflected the calm of someone who knew a truth others had forgotten. Before leaving, he quietly suggested that perhaps the CEO should verify who actually owned the building where she stood. Confused whispers filled the lobby. Vanessa laughed confidently, believing the statement was nothing more than a desperate attempt to save face. Yet one senior legal advisor standing nearby suddenly became unusually pale. He quickly opened company records on his tablet. Seconds later, his hands began trembling. The building was not owned by the corporation. It belonged to Hale Property Holdings. The owner listed on every legal document was Everett Hale. The silence became unbearable. Years earlier, before tragedy struck his family, Everett had founded a successful construction company alongside his late wife. They invested carefully instead of living extravagantly. One of their smartest decisions had been purchasing commercial real estate, including the very building leased to Vanessa's corporation. After his wife's death, grief shattered his ambition. Rather than expanding businesses, Everett stepped away from leadership and entrusted professional managers to oversee his investments. Longing for a simple life where he could spend more time raising Nora, he quietly accepted a maintenance position inside one of his own buildings without revealing his identity. He wanted to stay grounded and understand how ordinary employees were treated. Most people assumed wealth always changed people. Everett wanted to prove it didn't have to. Vanessa stared at him, unable to process what she had heard. She had spent weeks giving speeches about leadership without realizing she had never bothered learning the stories of those working under her roof. Everett didn't celebrate. He didn't insult anyone. He simply wished everyone a peaceful day and walked out of the building to pick up Nora from school. That quiet departure hurt more than any angry confrontation could have. The incident spread throughout the company before sunset. Employees who had remained silent replayed the scene repeatedly, ashamed they had watched an innocent man lose his job without speaking up. Many remembered the countless mornings Everett had helped carry heavy boxes, repaired broken desks without complaint, or quietly bought coffee for exhausted co-workers. Vanessa couldn't sleep that night. For the first time since becoming CEO, she questioned whether success built on fear could ever earn genuine respect. The following afternoon, she requested a meeting with Everett. He arrived wearing the same work clothes, not an expensive suit. Vanessa expected confidence. Instead, she encountered kindness. Everett explained that ownership had never mattered to him. Titles disappeared. Wealth came and went. The true value of leadership appeared in the smallest daily decisions, especially how powerful people treated those who could offer them nothing in return. He admitted that he intentionally never revealed his identity because he wanted to know whether employees were respected for their humanity or judged only by appearance. Every word struck Vanessa harder than criticism ever could. She realized she had inherited an extraordinary company but forgotten the most important lesson her father once taught her, that every employee carried invisible battles outside the office. The next morning, something remarkable happened. Instead of another termination meeting, Vanessa gathered every employee in the lobby where Everett had been humiliated. Standing before hundreds of workers, she publicly apologized, not because Everett owned the building, but because she had failed as a leader. She admitted judging someone without knowing their story and thanked Everett for teaching her humility. The applause that followed lasted several minutes. Many employees wiped tears from their eyes. Everett accepted the apology with quiet grace. He requested only one thing in return. Rather than offering him promotions or executive positions, he asked the company to establish a family support program for single parents and employees caring for sick relatives. He believed no hardworking person should have to choose between earning a paycheck and taking care of loved ones. Vanessa immediately approved the proposal. Within months, the company introduced flexible schedules, child care assistance, emergency family leave, and scholarship funds for employees' children. Productivity increased, employee loyalty reached record levels, and people no longer came to work simply for salaries. They came because they felt valued. Nora often visited the office after school. Instead of seeing frightened workers rushing through hallways, she found smiling faces who greeted one another with genuine warmth. Watching her father help repair a hallway light one afternoon, she asked why he still worked there even though he owned the building. Everett smiled. He explained that dignity never depended on the size of a paycheck. Honest work reminded him who he truly was, and every repaired door, every fixed light, and every kind conversation mattered because people mattered. Years later, employees would remember that unforgettable day not as the moment a CEO fired the wrong man, but as the day compassion became the company's greatest policy. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who believes in kindness, and subscribe to Spread Love Daily. Your support helps us continue spreading hope through stories that remind us all to see the humanity behind every face. Glowing Star special request, comment below with the words, "Kindness always wins," if you believe every person deserves respect, no matter their job title or appearance. Because sometimes the richest person in the room is not the one with the biggest office, but the one with the biggest heart.